Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've done it now. Probably got Molly the best Christmas present I could find, I guess. I think that's what they mean, save for a rainy day. Just like about a semi on a rainy day. I feel like it's throwing out hot, you know?
I mean, really.
I wonder if it's not circulating back in or something. I'm trying to figure out the heat. Let me turn the steering wheel so we can get in there a little better. Huh? Shut her down. So we open this valve. I wonder what. I don't think it's circulating hot water right now. This is all frosted. Don't know what to do about that. We'll work on that in another video, but let's give you guys a tour of the purchase here. So, shy a week ago now, 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago, I sold the tile truck, which bought 4 years ago now. Actually got some footage of trying to pull that tile truck up out of they got moved on the backside of a bin. Had to get it started and pulled up there, but sold it with the trailer. That's gone down the road. Dad owns 3 semis. I don't own a semi. And a way to haul grain, I've used my dad's semis for the years that I've done that or had it custom hauled. Kinda looked to get into a semi. I've been searching for a semi for a while. I think Jake sent me like 700 of them on Facebook Marketplace. Kind of what I was looking for. I was looking for a day cab because just hauling grain, don't need the sleeper or anything like that. Plus you have the rear window so you can see out of it, getting in and out of places. I was looking for at least a 200-inch wheelbase. The shorter ones are nice, but I think there's probably some bridge laws if we have to even follow those as farmers. I don't know. But the other thing is that they bounce pretty badly, those shorter wheelbases, and after a full day in the truck, they kind of you start to feel it a little bit more. So I was looking for like a 200-inch wheelbase. I really didn't want to go like too extravagantly longer than that, and this one actually here would be probably about as far as I would want to go, because there's actually room to put a steerable axle on here if I ever decided to do that. But now in Iowa you can actually license your trucks to be heavy, to haul commodities all year long, so that's possibly going to be a possibility. Anyway, so that's what I was kind of looking for. A lot of the trucks I was looking at, I really wasn't looking for a Peterbilt. I wasn't really looking for a Kenworth. I kind of actually more or less, Jakey, would you say I was more or less looking for a Volvo, wasn't I? So,
Volvo or a Freightliner?
But yeah, I was really kind of looking for a Volvo or a Freightliner. So I really wasn't looking for like a style points truck or anything like that. Did want it to be somewhat clean and not completely dogged out where I'm gonna have to fix on it all the time. Go figure, fixing on this one about immediately. Got to figure out the heat on it. So a lot of those that we were looking for, getting longer winded here, was had the emissions and stuff on them. And from what I talked to a couple of people about it, emissions for farmers aren't the best thing in the world. You guys will have to let me know if you've had problems with the emissions or have gotten along good with it. But trucks, For farmers, they idle as they get loaded. They idle in line to unload. They idle in the field going back and forth. So it's not like they're just going down the road all the day. And if they are, they're getting pulled hard enough to like get the stuff burned out of the DPF. So I wanted to kind of stay away from those type of trucks, but you could get one of those for decent money at 400 to 600,000 miles. So, and the ones that were non-emission had usually a pretty big price tag on them for what they were. So this gal popped up on Facebook Marketplace. This is a 2006 T800 with a Cat C13 in it, compound turbo. It from the front of the middle of the front axle to the middle of the steers is 210. From there to there is like a 230 wheelbase. So it's a little bit longer. It has a poly fifth wheel on it. That is one of those pinnable ones. So if you wanted to run like a dump trailer or something like that, I think you have to pin these fifth wheels rigid on those. I don't really know a whole lot about that. Front drive tires are in pretty decent shape. Rear drive tires are getting down there, but they work for a little while. Has all aluminum wheels, which is nice to have all aluminum wheels. The frame is in really pretty darn awesome shape as far as I can tell. The brakes, I would probably say, are 50% or so. Drums have a little bit of a groove in the edge of them. It has the air actuated like fifth wheel unlock, and it has the air actuated fifth wheel slide, but I do believe that hose is disconnected right now. Probably okay. That's about where the fifth wheel would be for where I'd want it to be. Dual air tanks. It has one, I think, 110 gallon tank for diesel fuel. Front tires were in good shape. Looking around it, the only thing that we can really see that's messed up with it is he said that somebody drove by when this truck was sitting and caught the front bumper on this thing and pulled it up. But by the looks of it, we ought to be able to just kind of try and push that back into position kind of easily. The one thing that this came with that I was not looking for, but now I guess we have, is it has a 2-line wet kit on it. So don't know if that ever get used. The wet kit does have a patch job on it here. That looks like a JB Weldon deal. A little bit of a dent up here. But yeah, there's a 2-line wet kit on this. Say what you want about having a wet kit. That's just kind of extra weight, but you never know. I really don't know if there's anything that I'd ever pull with that. You know, maybe getting an RGN or something like that at some point in time. But realistically, those all have their own pony motors. Could get a dump trailer for hauling rock if you wanted to. Not really something that I'm looking for at all. There's a lot of people around here at these quarries that can do it, or I can do it in the red dump truck. Don't need to usually buy a tremendous amount of rock at a time, and if I do, I usually just call and get it hauled. Dual stacks on it, looks kind of nice. Inside of it, I'll have Jake pop the hood as I do the inside little tour. As far as I know, we looked at all the lights worked. On the inside of it, there's the PTO deal. Has the air ride seat on the driver's side. The odometer says 40,000 miles, but they had to replace that because it wasn't working correctly, supposedly. There's the air unlock, fifth wheel stuff. Relatively clean cab, for say. And actually, I'm a 6'2", 6'3", 300-pound buckaroo here, and Jay can actually tell you that I've driven a couple of T800s, and I really didn't like the cabs of the T800s. More or less what I didn't like was the floating gas pedal that they had. The floating gas pedal was up here, and it felt like you were always just like jamming it and rocking yourself. I do like these pedals that are actually faced onto the floor, and my long legs, they can get onto the clutch pedal pretty decently. Has a 10-speed transmission in it. That's a lot of preferences for everybody else. A lot of people like 13-speed transmissions. I personally, for hauling grain, I like the 10-speed transmissions. I would have considered an automatic if I had to go newer. I think having an automatic would be nice. Has a toolbox, a little bit kind of beat up on it. I can show you into that. The cab's not bad. It's like we just drove it back about shy 2 hours, and it was relatively comfortable. I said that's kind of jacked up. You push down on this, and push down, open, and then just lift. So it's just a little bent up. So
Spare parts, can't ever go wrong with that.
yeah, I got a spare fan belt. I got a couple fuel filters, but a guy could put, you know, binders, ratchet straps. We do have a trailer that I could haul hay on if I wanted to haul hay with this. Haven't hauled hay with a semi in 4 or 5 years, but we do have a trailer that we could put hay onto. Might put hay onto in the future. But having a toolbox on that, not a bad idea. I actually drug a all black raccoon to a buddy the other day in a toolbox of a different truck. No joke, all black raccoon. Here's a picture of it. The other thing that I do like is that when you're loading trucks, you're climbing on and off of the truck to watch the grain piles load up pretty frequently. This has the deck plate here so you can climb safely up and onto it. Nice set of stairs to go up onto it. I mean, really, if a guy wanted to, if he like welded himself up something to put right here so he had a handle as he climbed up and on, that's something that I might consider doing. That'd make it really safe climbing on and off of these trucks. I have fallen going up and down off of those before, and trust me, those big beams on the side of the frame do not move.
That's like, really the only downfall with the Peterbilt is that you have to crawl from the cab, step on the fuel tank.
Yep. And
to get up.
Which, in the Peterbilt's defense, there was a step on it and it's off of there. Wonder if Andrew did that. I should ask him that.
Well, he's the one that got the Volvo.
He got the Volvo, so I wonder if he did that one too. But that needs to get put back on the Peterbilt, because getting on and up and out of there is decent, or nicer with a step there. But yeah, C13 motor. Did some TikTok-ing research on the C13s. Basically, what I could tell about them is that they're the same class as the C15. They're just a little bit smaller. Probably, my guess is this one's a 13 liter, probably a 13 liter. And the 15s are a 15 liter. Someone comment that and tell me it. These are supposed to get a little bit better fuel economy than the a little better fuel economy than the bigger one, but it does have the compound turbo setup. The other thing that I've seen people do is that they take the compound turbo setup off of them and single out the turbos. So only thing that we've now found that's maybe wrong with it is that the heater is not working correctly on this truck, which I very much so could have frozen that up on accident. I don't know. On the way down here, I'll have to look at that and try and figure it out, or find somebody that's smarter than me to do that. Mileage on the truck, people kind of maybe want to know what the mileage is. It's either 1,050,000 or 1.1. They're not 100% sure on that, but before they bought it, about 100,000 miles before they bought it, it had an overhaul done by Cat, so it is an overhauled motor. So that's what she is. We now have a newer grain hauling truck. Oh yeah, it's got fenders on it. I don't know what I think about it. It looks like they rub every now and then, but we just brought it back in the rain and it wasn't slinging rocks and other kinds of gnarly stuff up at the front of the truck. You'd want at least the front fenders for sure, but I guess having the full fenders isn't the end of the world either. So there she is. Christmas present. So some of you wondered why the video schedule is so far out. Well, when we finished with harvest, we went and did some custom work, or went to do some custom work, and it was raining, and it kind of rained on us, so we had to wait to finish to do that custom work. I did get some field chiseling done, which you guys will see that video here at some point shortly. It'll be rolling out for you guys. But other than that, then it turned off and basically froze out on us. So got cold, couldn't barely do chiseling there at the end of it. Frost came in, so tiling got basically sucked because it got pushed off on me this year. Got the tile plow hooked up actually. See, tile plow hooked up, ready to go. We were gonna go try to do some tiling if this rain didn't come through. There might have been one day that it was kind of fit to do tiling, which would have been Christmas. So, so realistically, not gonna go tiling on Christmas Day. And the 2 days or so, or the day before that, was tracks.
We had some really bad wipes.
Yeah, so the tracks, they filled up with mud pretty fast out there because I ended up putting a steering system into this tractor to try and make it steer, along with installed an isobus retrofit kit onto it, because the anhydrous bar that I might have coming is an isobus controlled deal. So Jake and I have been spending some time installing an isobus system onto this tractor. Still can't figure out why this one doesn't steer with the hydraulic steering on it. Somebody smarter than me would have to figure that out. So, but I was not going to go pulling anhydrous without steering again. I have done it. I've done it multiple times, but I'm going to use the RTK, pull my strips in, and be able to plant basically right over those. So we put a steering system in there to pull the anhydrous. I also do know that I use way more anhydrous without the steering system than with the steering system. So there's some serious savings having that steering system in your tractor that you're pulling it with. So that got put in there. Was kind of showing you a video of that one, but it really wasn't all that interesting. We had to modify some stuff, kind of get it put in there, but we got it done. We got it taught steering, but yeah, we've got a 2006 Kenworth T800 to put onto a grain trailer. Now, just got to find the grain trailer. So, any other words, Jake?
Not really.
Not necessarily the truck where I was kind of hunting for, but I'm pretty happy with it. So it looks like it will make a nice truck for a lot of years to come, and I get to stay out of the emission stuff, which I'm fighting tooth and nail to kind of stay out of that stuff until.
Pictures really didn't do truck justice either.
No.
It's a lot cleaner than what we had
envisioned.
From what we've seen online, it's a lot cleaner than what we thought.
Yeah, there's like no blow by on the motor. Just, yeah. We'll see if it turns into a money pit. See you in the next one.